Hello and welcome to, do we have a name for this podcast?
Yes, it is Culture Shock.
Oh, you named them after your Pee Wee soccer team, the West Chesapeake Valley Culture Shocks.
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Due to there being a copyright claim on our music all of a sudden, lame, we have to go out and find a different song, lame. We may even have to pay somebody for it, lame. But until then, just enjoy the episode. And as always, thank you for listening. Is that our music? I'm pretty sure that one's royalty free.
Yeah, then we can have that one.
All right, everybody, if you didn't get what we're talking about from that intro, that means you haven't seen it yet. Go see Thunderbolts, come back and check us out. But before we start this, we can't intro it any better than they did.
I'm glad you started there, actually.
They started there.
Well, yeah, but I'm glad that's how you started this episode because obviously when the darkness thing happened in that whole logo, at first I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" What? Are they acknowledging that their movies have been kind of shit lately? What is this?
It was two things. It was actually two things that were kind of brilliant. One, foreshadowing the whole void and the mental aspect of this movie, mental health aspect of this movie. And two, if you noticed, they didn't show the MCU characters in the flashes.
That's what I was going to ask, why?
They were showing all Century related comic books flashing through that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they actually were, I don't want to say a reboot of the universe because that's not what it is. They're still going to have all these people. But I think they are, with their logo here, they kind of pulled it back and went back to basics and just showed the comic book flashing. So I kind of liked that, actually.
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Like this,
and then
where are the characters?
Turned to black, yeah.
And then the darkness happened. I was like, "Darkness." That's all.
That's all. Darkness. I was imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute torture.
Nope, just darkness.
No. Yeah, I thought I was going to see a Kingdom Hearts movie.
And then this line actually made me think Kingdom Hearts.
There's something wrong with me.
Oh, I
it was almost like his narration of
yeah. At the first game.
It kind of.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Yeah, totally. That's actually weird that you said that.
That's weird that you brought up Kingdom Hearts because I was gonna mention that when I played that clip.
I thought you were gonna do that. You're stupid.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Oh man, I don't.
Is any of this real or not?
I want to hear that with Yelena. I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
She does a pretty good Russian accent.
Hers is much better than Wanda's was.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
She has down very much the moose and the squirrel.
The squirrel.
Hers is definitely more believable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Florence Pugh is just, this movie aside, the Marvel movies aside, she's one of the best young actresses out there right now.
I think she arguably might be the best.
Yeah. There's a case for
she can do anything.
I still haven't seen that movie with her and Andrew Garfield where I was, they had such great chemistry that
What We Do in Time or something like that. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
I heard that movie's phenomenal.
Yeah, but you had Dune Part 2, you had Oppenheimer, you have Midsommar.
The most awkward sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
What, Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
But she did it, she nailed it in that.
It was so weird.
She nailed it. She nailed the J. Robert Oppenheimer.
She nailed a lot.
Yeah. Nipples. Anyway,
Nipples.
Do you think when Oppenheimer was getting ready to skeet, he was like...
No, we didn't see the bomb.
We didn't see the bomb.
She didn't either. He was behind
her.
And then he skeeted on her butt cheeks. And you guys aren't going to understand any of this.
Yeah, exactly. I am becoming Oppenheimer, keeper of sex.
All inside jokes, guys. Sorry.
Skeeter of worlds. I am becoming death, Skeeter of worlds.
Go ski pooping, guys.
Yeah, guys, that ties into our behind the curtain. So that's
we weren't talking about that on there. That was after we stopped recording.
Is it really?
This is nowhere. This is all completely useless to everybody.
Oh, that's fucking even better. They're all so lost.
Which is why it's staying in.
Exactly. Corey, for you super comic nerds, did you know as soon as she said it's like there's a void, did you know like what that was referencing?
I didn't catch it right away because Sentry is not exactly one of the things I know a lot about.
Yeah.
I did know in the trailers and stuff that Bob was going to be Sentry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, and I do know now, that part of Sentry's whole thing it was kind of retconned almost a couple years ago in a Sentry comic. He was technically around since like Jesus days. Like he's part of the plagues and stuff. But it was kind of retconned in that he's always had this void inside of him, like a demon talking to him. And he doesn't remember when the void takes over. Yeah. So that part was accurate.
Well, that's not good.
So no, I didn't catch it. But then when they started saying it more, like the darkness within and all that, I'm like, oh, that's that thing I read about the void. And then I remembered it was called the void. But when she said it, no.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yelena.
Well, you know, I do want to give some people, because like from what I've been seeing a little bit about Sentry and people talking about the movie and the character in comics, people give Superman a lot of grief because for a good reason, he's OP. Yeah. But a lot of people are saying Sentry is like Superman plus more abilities. Like he can resurrect people. Like he's more OP than Superman. So to give Superman a little credit, like, you know, there's guys like that in Marvel too that seem like they have everything.
I think I know what Mike's going to say.
Sentry's not boring.
He's not boring.
Well, I don't know enough about Sentry.
Sentry's not just a hero. Yeah. He straight up ripped a character in half in the comics before.
Right.
So
there's more like moral gray to him.
You can be OP like Superman is, but if you're a boring Boy Scout who doesn't want to hurt anybody and just wants to do good, nobody's going to care.
But can he stand to fly? Is he that naive? Where's the Sentry song? There's a song about Superman.
That is a good point, and I will get back to you on that after I write and perform it.
Oh shit! You're making a whole Sentry song.
Yep.
Century 3.
Chevrolet.
70 Central Pittsburgh.
That is a very local cut.
It is. It's a local car dealership jingle.
That's for anybody who doesn't know. Guys, we're off the rails. We apologize.
Minutes from the mall.
With that being said,
Hi,
about the whole Superman being boring thing, I'm still excited to see Superman in July. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, July will be fun. Fantastic Four.
Heard nothing but good things about it.
Speaking of which, in this movie, Congressman Gary, played by Wendell Pierce, the guy trying to get rid of Dave Fontaine, which I love when she says, it's D. Fontaine. He's not the Secretary of Fence. He's the Secretary of Defense.
She's really good in this movie.
She's so smug.
But Congressman Gary, Wendell Pierce, is about to be part of the Marvel DC actor group. Not only was he in this, he's playing Perry White in Superman, the runner of Daily Bugle. So,
okay,
Daily Bugle, Daily Planet.
I need pictures of Superman.
I'm J. Jonah White. That's racist.
Yeah, that's racist. Come on, Jay, you're better than that. Not quite my tempo. Whiplash.
Very good.
Very good.
I'm Santa Claus.
You're Santa Claus?
Is that red one?
Yeah.
Did he say that in the movie?
I need pictures of Santa Claus.
Your pictures
he just says that in every movie now at some point.
Your pictures are trash, Jonah. Yeah, so Thunderbolts, second Marvel movie of the year. We did our review. If you haven't seen it, you can go listen, or if you haven't listened to it, you can go check out. We talked about Brave New World. Yeah. You know, to cut to the chase, I think all three of us agree this is a much better movie than Brave New World.
Yeah.
This was entertaining pretty much throughout. The pacing was very good. Not a lot of fluff in here, a lot of just straight, a lot of linear. The story just kept progressing. There wasn't a lot of stuff detracting from the main story. Really like that. Of course, I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Hello, Elaine.
Just for comparison, Brave New World is a 5.7 in IMDb right now.
All right. Remember recency bias, but what is this right now?
Thunderbolts is 7.6.
Okay. Could it go down a little bit? Maybe, but I think
it has potential to go up.
Oh, for sure. It could hold strong. And right now, I did have this, is that they're at, as of today, May 12th, they are at 128.5 million domestically, 272 million globally on 180 budget. So not a bad start. It's been out, what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just the second weekend. So yeah, not a bad start. It's got a ways to go to make money, of course, but it held strong its second weekend, held very strong. And you know, people listen to us, they know our mixed histories of this universe, our complicated history here. Corey is on one side of the fence, loves about 90 to 95% of this world, maybe higher. Mike,
I'd say 90.
About 90.
Just call me Mac.
Yeah, Max sitting on the fence, or that's Dennis.
Oh, is it Dennis that's on the fence?
Dennis that's on
right.
the fence.
That's right. Yeah. Because
I'm gonna hop the fence.
Like, yeah.
Mac goes back and forth.
Yeah, with the MCU, Mike is the Dennis of the group. He's literally on the fence. You know, he'll call good movies good. He'll call bland movies like Brave New World kind of mid.
It was just it was meh.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't even say mid. It was just meh.
It was just meh. Yeah, you can't even give it a full mid.
So MI, not MID.
Yeah. MI.
And I am, of course, like the detractor. I don't
Adrian
really
hates Marvel.
I probably dislike about 80% of the movies since Phase 4. Was that the end of the whole? It's Phase 5 and 6.
I thought 3 was the end of the whole thing.
Wait, what's
Phase 4 was the beginning?
Oh, you're right.
Eternals and all that.
Yeah, Phase 4 and 5 are the newer ones. Yeah, it's just, you know, since Endgame, it's felt like obviously you have a lot of characters that you can't make up for. A lot of the movies have felt kind of aimless to me, especially with what happened with Jonathan Majors. They kind of lost their centerpiece. He was a huge part of this universe going forward, and then the whole thing happened. Looks like he's making a comeback. So
he was good as Victor Timely in Loki season 2. So
yeah,
it kind of sucks that he's not going to be our Kang, but they might be able to bring him back in if everything, you know, if he's willing to. Marvel gave up on him real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they did,
but they have to. They're a family friendly.
Yeah,
company.
You have to like push away from that. Yeah, that.
Yeah. So they could. There's obviously a way to bring Kang back. He's unkillable. Yeah. There's so many variations of him, you can't do it. But I don't know if they'll go that route or not.
So I'll be curious by the time we get to the end of this, what you guys, because I'm going to ask you. I think we're all going to agree here that our top 3 of the last couple phases would be Deadpool and Wolverine, No Way Home, and Guardians 3, right? In some form. Would either of you disagree? Would either of you put like Shang-Chi or like something else above one of those?
Not above it, but Shang-Chi's in the top 5 for me.
But top 3, we would agree. Probably.
Top 3, 100% is those 3 movies. Yeah.
All right. So by the end of this, I'm going to be curious, like if you guys think Thunderbolts is on the same level, if it's ahead of any of those for your ranking. But that'll be something to think about for you guys.
We will see.
We will see. So
I already know. I've already given this.
By the way,
beautiful.
By the way, spoiler episode. Let's do it at the beginning this time.
Oh yeah,
well, you already did this time.
Right.
You did. Remember, right. You said we're going to be talking. If you don't know what we're talking about, then stop listening. Go watch Thunderbolts.
That's
and then come
true.
Back.
You guys are idiots if you didn't watch it. No, I'm just kidding. I disagree.
So, but as far as the movie, so you know, the beginning of the movie, it picks up with Yelena. Corey, I think it's a continuing plot point of something I didn't see. Hawkeye.
Yeah, it's after a ways after Hawkeye ended. Yeah,
right. But she was in that show, right? Like a cameo, and
2 episodes at the end of it. Yeah.
From what my understanding is, obviously she was going after Hawkeye because she blames him for Natasha's death.
In Hawkeye, she gets fed information by Dave DeFontaine that he's the reason. Well, if you watch Black Widow, did you watch the post-credit scene where she's visiting Natasha's grave?
Yeah.
Valentina comes up to her and gives her Clint's picture and says, this is the man responsible. So in Hawkeye, she finds him finally and goes to settle that score. And then finds out, obviously, he wasn't who actually did it.
Right. So the beginning of this movie, takes place sometime after that. Obviously, she's in like a place a lot of us are in. Like it's so funny, the commentary right away of like, as crazy as her life may seem, like to her, it's still a lot of like humdrum, monotonous. Like, why am I doing this? What's the point of this? Like she said, you know, I wake up every day, I look at my phone, I think about the terrible things I've done. I go to work, I come back home, I think about the bad things I've done, I go to sleep. And it's like, you know, a lot of people can relate to that. Not to the scale of like killing people and stuff. But, you know, it's like a lot of people that's, isn't it? But it's just her questioning what her life, like why she's doing what she's doing. What's the point of it all? and that's a very relatable thing right out of the gate.
For sure.
Yeah, and obviously you figure out that they've all been given the assignment to like.
I love that.
Yeah, they've all been given the same assignment, or so it seems.
And,
the assignment was each one of them was sent to kill one of the others.
Well,
right.
The cool twist there is you're only seeing this from Yelena's point of view.
Yeah.
Valentina telling her, I need you to go stop this operative Ghost, who is trying to steal information from me about a project that I was working on, and you need to figure out what she was going to steal and then eliminate her. She gets there, follows her in, and then John Walker attacks her, which is awesome. I love this whole scene. And then as they're attacking each other, Taskmaster comes in and attacks John Walker.
Yeah.
And then John Walker keeps going after her. And then Ghost says, oh, there she is. Goes after Taskmaster. It's like Valentina sent them all there as a separate target for each other with their own weaknesses, which was a brilliant idea. If you know the comics, Taskmaster can match any ability. So Valentina was hoping that Taskmaster would mimic John Walker so well that it would fluster him and he would get too angry to win.
Right.
And then, what was it? Yelena was small, so John Walker could brute handle her with all his strength with the serum he took. Ghost was Taskmaster because she's the only one that could manipulate space and be invisible and maybe trick Taskmaster.
Yeah.
And then,
if Taskmaster was smart and could use other people's abilities, maybe Taskmaster should have taken one from the Bee Gees, staying alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's one of the big spoilers. Is if anybody was wondering in the trailers why you don't see a lot of Taskmaster, there's a reason. She gets shot in the motherfucking head. She has one line. I love that they had the balls to go there. Honestly, I didn't think they were going to do that, but she died, right?
Especially
she had one
because
line.
She's in a lot of the all of the posters and stuff.
They superimposed her in all that.
Yeah,
like she wasn't
even the popcorn buckets we got had.
Well, if you remember, they did this with David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Slipknot was part of every advertisement.
Yeah,
he was on the buckets. He was on the posters. Okay. He was on the case. I think even.
Let's go back to talking about a movie that doesn't suck.
What are we? Some kind of Thunderbolt squad?
The West Chesapeake Valley Thunderbolts.
Since I'm gonna probably sing praises for this movie pretty much the entirety of this whole shindig, whatever the fuck you want to call it,
classic shindig situation.
Classic shindig situation.
It's a hootenanny.
At first, I was slightly annoyed with the kind of like it seemed like they pulled ideas out of a hat on how they could name them the Thunderbolts since. They couldn't relate it to Thunderbolt Ross.
I like how they came up with a new way.
I mean, as a running gag in the movie, it works.
Well, no, actually, I like it. I like it more on the level of like, so like her memory. Even though she doesn't have a lot of memories when she was young, like the Thunderbolts is like one of the few things like she remembers being happy. So like, I actually like that her dad is pushing for that name so hard because like he's doing it for his daughter.
Please don't take away the one aspect of this movie that makes it original. Like her just having the one memory of happiness. I would have way hated after getting this version if they said, well, we're thinking about making it because of, if they retcon and make it that they called it that because of Thunderbolt Ross, I'll hate that.
Look, I'm just saying that comic book wise, Thunderbolts was always because of Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, right.
Kind of. He did not start the first Thunderbolts.
It's just
so kind of.
It's just bizarre that I do understand why they went the route they did because I'm assuming that Harrison Ford has no intentions of returning to Marvel
ever.
He'll come back for something, but I don't think a full movie like this. No.
Yeah, I don't think he. So like they had to come up with something else. They couldn't be like, well, we can't name it after a guy that's not really going to be a part of the universe much anymore.
I'm going to be honest with you. They did not give him all that money to be Hulk one time. He's going to come back.
They might.
He's under contract. I guarantee it. Marvel does not do one movie deals for a character that big.
Pun intended.
Hulk, he's huge.
Like I said, with the running gag of the joke with the Thunderbolts and the emotional weight that ends up actually carrying through the movie, made it what originally to me seemed like just a stupid idea they pulled out of a hat, and they turned it into something that was amazing.
Yeah, right. They made it work, is what you're saying. Like you didn't like it at first.
They found a way to write it in perfectly, and
They
make
did.
it make sense in the movie.
It ties
But
into him.
When I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me!"
That's fair. It ties into like his guilt of like not always being there for her and not being a better father figure, and because like that scene between them, like in the bridge, is, that was some heartbreaking stuff. Just like her confessing. It's first of all, she starts it with like she calls him daddy instead of dad. It's like she's a little girl again. You know what I mean? Because she didn't get to live a proper childhood, and she's just like, "Daddy, I'm so alone."
It's not even a real
just
father.
Like it's so fucking sad, man.
It's the only father she has, man.
I know.
It's like Joel and Ellie. But
those who did not watch Black Widow, that is not her real dad. It's just
right.
her spy dad that raised her.
But yeah, I think that one line, like "Daddy, I'm so alone," just the way that Florence Pugh delivers it, like, you know, tearing up and crying.
She was a child in that moment.
She was a child, like she reverted back to being a kid, and it's like missing out on all the things like that that kids are supposed to have.
And then from a dad's point of view, the look on his face of, "I didn't think you wanted me," when he says that, "I didn't think you wanted me."
Right.
Like that was heartbreaking. Like he's like, "Holy shit, I should have been there this whole time. I'm an idiot."
Yeah. Yeah. So needless to say, like what the movie did really well, the reason I would consider this one of the better Phase 4 and 5 movies, and even for other people like me that kind of doubt this universe, I'd say give this one a watch. I will say for me personally, the first half, I think the movie gets significantly better at a certain point. First half, I still liked it. I wasn't loving it. I thought it was okay. I look a fun like team up. The first half feels more like Suicide Squad-y kind of. And I am a sucker for the team up movies, which is why I like this. Another reason. But the first half felt more traditional. Okay, we're finding a reason to bring these characters together. A lot of the like quips back and forth, you know. But the second half, the movie gets way better for me. Because it's just like that's when they're really, it has something to say, which I appreciate so much. A lot of Marvels are like what people would call like toothless blockbuster, which is fun. It's fun to go with family and friends and popcorn and have a great time watching a superhero movie. But like this movie,
popcorn.
I'm sorry, Mike. Whatever you can eat.
Nachos.
Sour Patch Kids.
He said nachos.
I can't have popcorn. I'm stuck to nachos.
Yeah, damn it, nachos and cheese. And
hey, when you're going to the movies, nobody wants to eat nachos. Come on.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's not. It's definitely not my top 5 like theater food.
What the fuck? It is.
Of course,
it is one of my top.
They got the nachos in the container, and when you're grabbing them, you hear.
At a ballpark, yeah. So
listen,
movie theater, no.
At most movie theaters, you don't actually get nachos. You get a little thing of chips and a cup of cheese.
Oh, I know. It's so terrible. Guys, let's play the newest game show. Ballpark or movie theater? Nachos. Ballpark.
Both.
Yeah. No.
No, but
yes is my answer.
No, but to derail from our stupid conversation. Emotions. The movie has something to say about, one thing I wasn't expecting is that Bob was like a former meth addict.
Yeah,
like, I did not think they would do something like that.
That scene, like even like he flat out says when they're going through his head, and he's attacking them with the sign. You're like, "Will you stop it?" He's like, "I was on meth."
Red Guardian says, "If you hit me with that sign one more time," and then he gets hit with it again, he goes, "I was on meth."
I'm Bob.
I'm Bob.
Oh God, I love it.
Did you call me Blob? Damn it. Damn you, Origins Wolverine. Yeah, but the movie, you know, it's like just such a fantastic commentary on feeling isolated, feeling alone, depressed, you know, overcoming childhood traumas, addictions. It's just like, it's a more relatable movie than a traditional MCU experience.
Yeah.
Like it's fitting for a generation of people that celebrate talking about mental health, as you should.
Yeah.
That is something we should all feel comfortable opening up to. You know, it's not the old stereotype where men aren't supposed to feel feelings. Like, leave that shit back in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like,
988.
Yeah, 988. As people have been calling this movie, the Suicidal Squad.
I have not heard that, but that's fucking excellent.
Which is terrible and hilarious. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie because it has heart to it. It has a lot to say. You can tell the people making the movie actually cared about this project. Florence Pugh is just one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood right now. David Harbour's hilarious. I will say some of his
course.
comedy in here is kind of bordering on too much MCU for me. At certain points, it got a little bit much. As much, I do love David Harbour, and he's one of my favorite characters.
That's his character.
That's his character
in the MCU.
I get it.
Oh no.
It's coming right at us.
Who is that? It's no one. Oh god.
It's your dad! Don't go in the vault! Valentina's gonna burn your life!
Another like childlike moment for her, like covering her face because she's embarrassed by her dad.
Embarrassed by her dad, like, oh
It's
my
so fucking
god.
funny.
In front of like her new friends.
It's like, oh my god. A character. So obviously, Bob's one of my favorite characters, but a character that I was shocked.
Lewis Pullman was incredible.
Yeah, I was not expecting to love this character, but John Walker was fucking hilarious.
I told you were gonna love John Walker. One of my favorite John Walker moments is he's like, so I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to take you guys in. And she goes, are you feeling the rise in temperature as if heat is involved? And he just pauses and he goes, okay, it's an incinerator. That's where it clicks. Like, oh shit, I am expendable. I fucking love that moment because he's just staring at them like, yeah, okay.
He keeps trying to justify, like, no, here's what I think is happening.
I think I'm the good guy here.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting his character to be that enjoyable. I thought considering he was like such a hated character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
He was, but it's because they gave him the Captain America mantle and he didn't do it right. So from a fan
then he killed
perspective,
somebody.
people hated that. Well, yeah, but that person killed his friend first. But the point is, I even like that. They say, well, I was Captain America. Yeah, for like 2 seconds until you brutally killed a guy on the news with the shield. And he just stares at them like, yeah.
And the fact that they do that like that 14-month flash forward, like in the post credit, and his shield is still bent is so funny.
Do you love the propaganda poster where he's riding it?
Oh, yeah.
He turned my shield into a fucking taco.
Yeah, a lot of things about the movie feels very like Phase 1 MCU.
Yeah,
which I can appreciate.
What I said about this movie is I think after the whole Jonathan Majors thing, Marvel kind of lost their way because they didn't know where they were going.
Oh yeah, it was directionless.
And this movie feels like they finally found a track to get back onto.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. It's not like I don't think it's a giant step for like the MCU, but this is like the first steps of getting back to like getting focus back. Like, okay, I see what they're going for here. It's going to start feeling like it builds on itself with obviously the Fantastic Four will be around very soon.
Yeah, that end credit scene. I know we're bouncing around here with the movie.
Yeah. You know,
that
welcome
end
to Culture
credit
Shock.
scene with the Fantastic Four. Like, I'm kind of upset because, I mean, obviously, you kind of figured this is what was going to happen, but now they've 100% verified that we know what's going to happen at the end of Fantastic Four. Now,
that does not mean that's what's happening at the end.
You don't think that that's what's going to happen, where Galactus eats their universe and they are pushed into a 616?
That could easily be 3/4 through the movie of Fantastic Four, where they need somebody's help and they multiverse to jump to our universe, get some help, or take somebody from our universe and go back and save their world. That does not mean it's the end.
But it very well could be, though.
It very well could be, but that's why it's called a teaser, Mike. You don't know what that means.
That latest trailer.
Fucking people go into these movies and you assume one thing and you hate it. I hate that shit.
Oh, I didn't necessarily say I hated it. It just seems like if that is what ends up happening at the end of Fantastic Four, they 100% just kind of.
You're just upset that if that's the direction they go, they gave it up at the in a post-credit scene of another movie.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? So what? You want to go into it like with your theories? And
how else are they going to bring the Fantastic Four into our world permanently, other than killing their world? I don't. Well,
they don't have to. They don't have to kill the world. I was reading this other one where like Reed and Sue have like a baby that's like a time jumper or whatever that like Galactus wants to go after.
Yeah,
they could be like running.
Franklin
from him.
Richards is probably the most overpowered character in all of comics.
Yeah, so it could be like something like that where they're just trying to get to a new universe to get away from him, not necessarily their universe is gone.
Also, Mike, it could be 20 years later and Franklin Richards is an adult and they're bringing Franklin Richards over because they heard about Sentry.
It could be. You're right. Hey, that's fine. If
I get what you're saying, Mike. Though, if that's the direction they go, it's kind of weird they gave it away.
I will say this:
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Give it away.
I'm assuming that the Doctor Doom we're going to be getting then is going to be from that
Robert Downey
Fantastic
Jr.,
Four,
yes.
that Fantastic Four's universe.
From like their universe, not not like obviously not 616.
Yeah, obviously not 616 because that Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man or was Iron Man.
Guys, spoiler, he did.
Oh yeah, he did a thing where he snapped and said, "I am Iron Man," and he died.
Mike, I do agree with you though. I think this is a good first steps.
Oh yeah,
First Steps is what Fantastic Four is called.
Hey, I did not mean to do that. Happy accident. I think this is the real first steps.
Now it makes me wonder. Maybe this is like leading into that. Like maybe is it concerning that Fantastic Four is still doing reshoots up to like when's the movie come out next month?
It comes out in July.
Which is
there's rumors that it's adding stuff that
Yeah.
is because of the success of this movie.
That's
So
my
we'll see.
theory. My working theory is that they did not expect Thunderbolts to be as big of a success as it was.
Right.
And that's why I believe that asterisk existed in case it was a success. They could change it to the New Avengers, which
Yeah.
we will talk about.
Well,
And I think
I have a
that,
theory there.
I think that's also like
theory.
my theory is what,
No, it's
what
a
Corey
movie
said is that because of the success of Thunderbolts, they're trying to change some shit in Fantastic Four. Because I don't necessarily feel like they were going to keep these characters in Thunderbolts around if this movie flopped.
No, probably not.
Obviously,
They certainly weren't going to be
Doomsday.
called the New Avengers at the end of it.
No, I fucking love that. It's the New Avengers with a Z.
No copyright.
Oh
I
my
got
God.
all of you one.
I got you one. I got you one. And I got you one, Bob, over there in the corner, acting like you're not listening.
I did the dishes.
I'm Bob.
I'm Bob.
That
Oh,
scene in
I've
the
seen
grocery
it.
store. Oh, so many choices.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Wheaties. All your daily fiber.
He's
like-
holding it up to his face. Which, by the way, the first time I watched the movie, I thought that was Aquafina. I thought that was her character from Shang-Chi.
well, if that was her, I would have hated this movie. just for that one moment.
So the second time I went, I was like waiting for the mid-credit scene. I was like, oh, Corey's going to dig this, my son. And then I looked at her. I'm like, oh, that's not even her. God damn it. Because that would have been a way to tie it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Corey, the first time I saw Bob, Yelena, right, is the first one that touches him and like goes to her childhood.
Yes.
Yeah, when I first saw that, dude, I'm like, is Bob the fucking Dream Master from Nightmare on Elm Street? I was like, this dude has some dream abilities. And then, I mean, he obviously became fucking Sentry. But
yeah,
that's-
he's a much bigger character.
A much
That's
bigger
really
character than
sad.
the Dream Master. You don't
That's
think
really
Alice from Nightmare on Elm Street could beat Sentry?
I don't think
Maybe.
so.
That's really sad with that Yelena had to kill that Anya girl, though, when she was so little. Or lead her into
mean,
death.
That's what, hey, Red
But-
Guardian says. They were dark times. Very dark times indeed.
Well, in the way I feel about it is if she had failed that mission, I feel like Anya was probably supposed to kill her. I mean,
It might have been a-
Isn't that the environment they grew up in?
Maybe.
It was like a...
Oh,
were they
you mean
both?
eventually or during that exact moment?
Maybe eventually, not that exact
Okay, I was going
moment.
to say she didn't have a guy behind her. Like,
I was going to say,
I'm
were
thinking
they
if
both,
she
like-
didn't go through with it, they probably would have been like, all right, Anya, I need you to kill Yelena.
maybe, yeah. Because you see, even later, like when she gets the gun assembled faster,
Yeah.
they get
all
her out of
other
the way,
stuff.
and then they make them put all their hands out, and they whip all
Yep.
their hands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that sucks for her, too, because it's like, you know, it's like she wants to... The same thing with the soccer team. She wants to be there for her friends, and it's like she's actually accidentally fucking them. Like,
Yeah,
how fast she
But-
puts
but
that gun together.
you're fucking yourself if you don't. So
Yeah, exactly. She's got
Yeah.
that Forrest Gump speed putting that gun together.
Yeah, that's also a test that they play on people in other countries, where if you got the gun together fast, so everybody else would get whipped. That also shows weakness for you, because
Yeah, right.
you're not willing to be hurt for your team.
right.
You just want out of it. So
Yeah.
it's actually also weakness.
Yeah. Also, another thing I think is very clever about this movie is most people, unless you're a diehard MCU fan, like going into this, kind of the Guardians feel. It's like, I know these characters, but like, do I really like what's this vibe? I guess more of a Suicide Squad, because Guardians, a lot of people didn't know those characters. More like a
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. Like, I know these characters, but like, what are we doing here? Why is this getting a full movie? And then the movie kind of plays on that commentary where these characters within the movie like don't feel like they're good enough, like they don't feel like they're fit to wear the title of like an Avenger or like even a hero. And I kind of like that, you know, that's a clever little
Yeah.
writing thing there, where the movie's acknowledging like, yes, we don't think you guys think this deserves a full movie. And they do that through the characters. I like that insecurity there.
And
Uh,
one, go ahead.
No, good.
one of my theories about this movie is because at the end of it, if nobody knows yet, we've mentioned it slightly a few times, but Valentina tricks them into this news conference, which is pretty clever, actually.
Yeah,
They come through the sheet and there's a whole conference with TV cameras and stuff. And she announces that they are the new Avengers, which, first of all, who gave her that authority? Like,
Yeah,
why
right.
was she allowed to do that? And second off, like, I love that they're like, that was the big reveal, is that the whole reason that Thunderbolts had an asterisk beside it this whole time was because that was the placeholder, which was a very clever way to do a placeholder. Usually they don't do that and incorporate it in the actual movie. Usually they just change the title before it comes out, but they actually in the movie revealed it, which was really cool. But in the comics, there is a Thunderbolts team led by Norman Osborn, who eventually changes and becomes the Dark Avengers because the Avengers won't let them use their name. And in that post-credit scene, that's what's happening. Sam Wilson's saying, no, you can't be the Avengers, which I don't want this to be my full Avengers team anyway.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
but-
no.
I mean, let's be
But-
honest.
I mean,
If they-
it's 3 super soldiers and a bunch of assassins and dicks.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
one
But
god.
if they do become the Dark Avengers, I'm fine with that storyline.
Yeah. What?
Totally cool with that.
So none of us fly. We just punch and shoot.
I love that John Walker's like, I have an idea. He jumps really high and falls down. Try that again. Ghost says, try that again.
Dude, how sick! They do the fucking Emperor's New Groove to get up.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
Did you notice when it shows from below, it's an asterisk?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Their legs.
I did not
Yes.
see that.
Oh, and also I meant to say that speaking of the camera work, the opening scene of like her just being
yeah.
bored of life, that overhead shot when she's in the hallway is so fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like when she's just taking out all those guards
And
like
just
nothing.
narrating.
Oh,
while she's
Oh, it's
kicking
so
all their
fucking
asses.
good.
That is how you show a Red Room assassin.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
ass,
not that
unlike
little
Brave New
girl
World.
from Brave New World.
And I love that it all wraps up to this narration is her talking to a guard tied up.
Yeah.
This wasn't her talking to herself or the audience. She was bored and talking to this dude.
She's like,
Maybe
are
I'm
you listening?
Hey, you weren't even listening.
Yeah, just that overhead just really impressed me right away. And then that double takedown she does at the end. So fucking good.
By the way, that was the second tallest building in the entire world, and they actually let Florence Pugh jump off it.
Oh, really?
No shit.
That was a real stunt done by her. It changed to a stunt person for the parachute, but the actual drop off the building, one Adrian, was to give her redemption for the horrible CGI blow up jump in Black Widow that you hate so much.
I love
They
it.
gave that to her, and they made it practical so people would be like, "Oh, there you go,"
Yeah.
which was cool. And yes, they had harnesses on her, obviously, but
What?
she really did that jump off the building.
Mike's, what
And
do you mean that harness is
Look
on?
how, look how amazingly unfazed she looks.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that Florence Pugh was like, "Dude, yes, let's do this." And
Yeah.
I watched a behind the scenes thing of her on top of that building. She doesn't really look nervous. She looks excited.
Yeah, Florence Pugh kind of makes me, she makes me think of like somebody who likes to do like adrenaline junkie type stuff.
Yeah.
I could see her
maybe, yeah.
bungee jumping and skydiving and,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, like, so you have Julia Louis-Dreyfus. What is she in this movie? Like head of CIA or something
She was
at the time?
the director
or-
of the CIA.
Yeah. And
that
she's
happened.
kind of,
That happened at the end of Hawkeye, maybe,
okay. Yeah.
I believe.
And they're pretty much trying to like get her out of her position.
Yeah.
They think that she has these things going on behind the scenes, which of course she's working on the Sentry Project, not telling people about. So she's having Yelena like destroy any evidence of the Sentry Project. She's getting rid of all the experimented bodies because she thinks they're all failures.
And she sends them all there to be incinerated as also expendable.
It's a
parts
great
of
plan
that.
for her. She's cleaning
It
up,
is.
she's cleaning up all her footsteps. Like
Fucking Bob.
Fucking
That's where we get
Bob.
Bob.
That's where we get Bob. And he doesn't save them like at any point inside the incinerator, does he? Like when they're climbing up, they
Oh,
get up there by
no,
themselves.
Well, no,
He doesn't-
they're
he doesn't
climbing
re-
up. That's his idea.
No, but I mean, he doesn't do anything
He-
to like reveal anything. Like,
Oh no.
They didn't say that he saved Yelena, but when that explosion goes off, he may have been in front of her.
oh, right.
That may have blocked her from getting hurt. I don't know, but
hmm I'll say Bob was fun for me. Somebody who I didn't watch the trailers to this. I still don't really know who Sentry is much, but for somebody who doesn't understand some characters, it's fun for me to be like, oh, this is a cool fucking reveal. Who's this dude?
that look that she eventually gives him with the dyed blonde hair and the golden suit is the original Sentry look. Well, not original. Sorry, the original one looked real bad, but
I looked up some of the comic ones. It looks pretty good.
And that's why in there she says people like the classic superhero.
Yeah.
It was only thrown in there for that one scene for him to look like that,
right?
As a reference to his old.
I love when he's like, I don't know. Now I'm doubting the suit. Yeah. He's like, I'm even doubting the hair.
The hair, I didn't even get a say. I should have got a say.
The hair is great.
I love how she had to eat her words when she's explaining to them like he's stronger than all the Avengers combined.
Yeah,
and then he used it against her.
He calls himself a god, and she's like, "Whoa." Kind of throwing the god word around a lot, and he's like, "You said I was stronger than all the Avengers, which includes at least one god."
Yeah,
the way he looks at her after he says that, and she's like, "Ah, Jesus."
I do love his like, you have to listen to me. Why? I love that.
What do you mean?
It's like,
why?
She's like, I created a fucking monster. Did you really expect him to listen to you? Come on.
I mean, her assistant Mel told her that this was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my one. It's probably my one and only big gripe with this movie is Bob went from wanting to help his friends to being Sentry a little too quick. There was no room in there. Like he just accepted his powers, learned to use them, and
I agree with you there.
But I think we were supposed to see it from the Thunderbolts like perspective. Like they last time they saw Bob, he was a normal dude.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's this fucking Superman superhero. I think we were supposed to be feeling the same way they did. Like, holy shit. Out of nowhere, he's a badass.
Yeah. I really like what they did. Well, first of all, I like the Void, like how they did the Void, him turning all the people into shadows was kind of
That's
weird.
because we're huge fans of Kingdom Hearts and any shadow figure.
Yeah.
Because the shadow figure is cool.
It was kind of like
they were all heartless.
They were all heartless. It was kind of cool in an unsettling, I mean, for an MCU movie, an unsettling way. Not like a way that fucking like really got under my skin, but I'm like, oh, this is kind of eerie. But I love when he was turning the people into shadows. I like the way they handled like them coming together to help him, because it's kind of a thing where you probably, knowing the character of Sentry, these people aren't going to stand a chance against Sentry.
No,
so it's the only way. It's the only way they could go with the story. Like, what else are you going to do?
Which is why I was expecting some kind of cameo by another superhero of some sort. Because I was like, "There's no fucking way these people beat Sentry. No way."
Yeah. Like, I don't always like the cliche of like the real victory is coming together, but like I think it works in this movie. Yeah, I do think it works
because of the element of mental health and helping Bob in his own mind.
Yeah,
is why it worked. And I love that. Like, I've had a visceral reaction after Red Guardian saves that little girl and then she disappears into the she becomes a shadow. I in theaters sat forward and went, "What the fuck, dude?" Like, they just killed a little girl in this movie. That's gonna get some shit. And then
what is this, Terrifier?
And then when Yelena walked into it, I was like, okay, they wouldn't kill Yelena like that.
Right.
Obviously, there's more to this.
Yeah.
And that's when I figured out, oh, okay, they might be able to get that little girl back. And I don't always love when they're able to bring a bunch of people back that were supposedly dead.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, come
That's
on.
That's why Infinity War sucks.
I know.
But I'm sorry, Endgame brings them back.
Speaking of which, I have a couple questions about that. In like a blip scenario where these people were coming back where they were when they were blipped, there were a couple people shadowed away in areas that aren't there anymore. Like Holt was shooting from that helicopter that has now crashed on the ground.
Right.
There are a couple people that are, maybe dead now after they came back. Yeah, and the two scientists at the beginning, like, did they come back? That he killed way before they knew who Bob was?
That whole place is gone.
That place is gone. That building was blown up. Are they just going to come back and be like, oh, shit, and then fall to the ground? Like a cartoon? Like,
Oppenheimer?
Yep. Well, Florence Pugh is in this.
Yeah, that's true. Shit, the common link.
Guys, we didn't see the bomb in Oppenheimer.
Never saw the bomb.
But we did see the bomb in Thunderbolts.
The bomb?
We saw the explosion in Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah.
She's a bomb.
She's the bomb?
She's a bomb?
How did we both go to fucking Rush Hour too? She's the bomb?
I said she is the bomb.
She's a bomb? I love Snoopy.
I love Snoopy.
Lee, you got a dirty movie? Only $9.95. Guys, we'll talk about that one day.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, just the the squad here, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? No, but the squad here does feel more of like it feels like a found family, where Suicide Squad it really didn't. Not the new one, the David Ayers one, but I do.
The James Gunn Suicide Squad's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. But I do feel this collection of people, like, it feels more believable on screen, like them coming together all through their kind of shared shittiness, all through their shared dark backgrounds. And
yeah, they all suck as human beings.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, they do. And even Yelena says, and we failed. We fail and we failed.
We're failures. We failed.
Yeah, exactly. We're failures.
Or no, she says we're losers and we lost.
And we lost. That's what it was. Yeah. We're all losers and we lost.
And the Thunderbolts were a bunch of losers, her Pee-wee team. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But she was the goalie because she wanted everybody to depend on her.
That's right. Yeah, I think the moment where he kind of like, where they're driving away and he's getting shot and he becomes like, he flies in the air. I think that's for me kind of the turn in the movie where I'm like, it got significantly better. Right after that, you had the limo chase, which was pretty dope. That's where Bucky was introduced.
Hell yeah, dude!
I love how they're like, it's the Winter Soldier. And then
What happened to bulletproof? It's bulletproof-ish.
Sorry, now you can go.
I just love that Bucky's like, it seems like Bucky saved them.
Yeah.
And then he fucking shoots the thing at them too.
Oh yeah.
John Walker's like yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, I love the way he delivered that line, like because he wasn't even like super excited, like yeah, he was just like yeah, oh shit. He's like doing a little clap, yeah, oh shit.
He also though he knows that Bucky probably doesn't like him so much because of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, so he's like, well, he's saving me, but he also doesn't like me, so
yeah,
we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, but I just really like the concept of them dipping into all of their defining moments, like some of the darkest moments in their life. John Walker, you get to see like his failed relationship.
Yeah.
Of course, Yelena, you get to see a bunch of horrific shit. You get to see her as a kid, what she had to do. You get to see her now as an adult, like kind of drinking herself every night into like a stupor. Just, depression, man. And her father was out of her life for that whole year or however long it was between Black Widow and this movie. And like you said, Corey, it's kind of a thing as the father where he's like, I didn't know you wanted me around. Like, I thought you didn't want anything to do with me.
They do say when she gets to the house, it's been a year, and he goes, oh, has it been a year?
Mm-hmm. And then, when they're talking under the bridge, he's like, I'm late, but I'm here now. Yeah. And it's like, that hurts, but like, there's some level of comfort, like at least he's here now, but there's so much lost time.
One of the ones that got me was, when I look at you, like, Elena, I don't see your failures.
Yeah.
And that's why we need each other. I think that's what he says. Cause like, I need to remind you that you used to have, he says in this multiple times, your light, like when he picks him up cause he says in the house, your light is dim, even for Eastern European standards, which is a funny line. But then like when they're in the car, he looks over when he picks up the Thunderbolts, he looks over and he says, your light's a bit brighter. He doesn't mention any more than that. He just looks at her and says that and then starts talking to them. He goes, he's John Walker, the second coming of Captain America. Right. He's so excited. He's like, I too once a state representative super being.
Yeah, and he can he can just like sense, as a father, he can sense Yelena like how really lonely she is. Yeah. So like that's why he keeps trying to keep this team together. He's like, no, your team, you just don't know it. Like he's trying to keep the team together because he can see like she's in a better headspace when she's around them.
Well, to be fair, when she's talking to him at the house,
you feel fulfilled?
Oh yeah, so full, so filled.
so filled. And just for what the movie was going for, I think this was the perfect cast of characters where, of course, you can't beat this man physically. It didn't come down to like a CGI fest. It was a shared group of people that like have all gone through their own traumas, and they're people that can relate to him. Yeah. And you see the scene of him, like of his father beating his mom, like when he's up in his room, that's the scene going downstairs.
And his head drops every time anything happens. Like, that dude did some acting. Hard acting, because like anybody who's been, not anybody, sorry, but a lot of people who have been through that kind of physical abuse, they hide their face. It's like how they escape.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I know a lot of young girls when they're going through stuff like that, they'll put their hair in front of their eyes
Right.
And that's how they escape it and shit. Because when his mom and dad are screaming down there, he even barely reacts and says, "Oh, don't mind them. They'll be done in a minute."
Yeah.
And then it's like screaming, and then he tries to stick up for her, and she says, "You made it worse. You always make it worse." And his face there when she says that, he kind of dips, like, ugh.
Yep.
You can tell that's his worst. When they're trying to go up that elevator shaft, as a matter of fact, when when they get to the top and they go, how are we going to get out of here now? And he goes, "Oh yeah, I didn't think that through, did you, Bobby?" And Bobby goes, "I made it worse. I always make it worse." That's like foreshadowing his parents saying it to him. It's kind of a beautiful moment, actually.
Yep. So I just really like the concept of them, like, winning the day, not because like they're the most powerful or the most skilled. It's like that, that's, hey, I love Infinity War level, Endgame level of shit. But like, if you're going to do like a little more of a grounded movie, I like the way they went with, they saved the day. They were able to get control of Sentry, get him back as Bob because of their shared trauma and because they showed they actually cared about him.
Yeah.
That's why there were some people weirded out at the end when they're doing the Avengers with the Z thing. They were like, why is Bob still with him? It's like, well, why would you just let him leave after you just averted a crisis? That seems like the worst idea.
Yeah.
Just release him onto the world.
You obviously need him around you so you can not control, but
no, you want that guy on your side. yeah, you want that guy on your side.
What was really nice about this movie, and we all three love the first two Captain America movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is this movie
that second one?
Aside from the whole Sentry aspect towards the end, this movie does feel very much like a grounded Captain America movie.
Yeah,
like those first two. Like it's more spy espionage. Like it's real shit. And I mean, aside from Ghost being able to phase and do that stuff, but like it's still a comic book movie, and we do get Sentry later on and the whole New Avengers thing. But I think what is they had to find more creative ways to do shit because they couldn't just be like, oh, this person has powers. Let's
I'm
do
still
that.
here.
I know.
Okay,
so I don't know. I think that's a lot of that. Like I said, this movie, like Adrian, you're right. It feels more phase 1, phase 2-ish.
Yeah.
And which is where those first two Captain America movies came from. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've heard anybody say anything bad about this movie, really.
Couple nitpicks here and there, but I haven't heard any like, of course Marvel did it again kind of thing. So that makes me
this movie didn't suck.
No, it definitely didn't suck. For me, being the hater, I'll say,
God damn it, here it comes.
Yeah, I'll say, of course, with most Marvel, the comedy's always hit or miss for me. It was fine. Like, I don't think they overdid it to the point where it's like you're ruining great moments. It's just the humor in general. Sometimes it doesn't land for me. I kind of wanted to see them do a little bit more with Ghost. I feel like Ghost was underutilized compared to all the characters.
Bit, yeah.
I feel like 90% of the great writing was reserved for Yelena and Alexei.
I mean, I think it was supposed to focus around them mostly.
Oh, for sure it was. It was like their story. She's like, she is the protagonist. So it's her story. So I get that. I just feel like a couple of the characters were a little bit undercooked. That's it, really.
Especially Taskmaster.
Yeah. Taskmaster did not have enough to do in this movie.
And speaking of, Bucky really wasn't in the movie a lot either.
No, this wasn't like Bucky's biggest movie by any stretch.
But he did cool Bucky things.
He did cool Bucky things, like getting his arm ripped off and smacked with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like taking out the trucks with the little disc things that he was shooting at Samuel Jackson. Nick Fury. I guess they didn't shoot him at Samuel Jackson. But, like,
motherfucker.
He did say that in one of the Marvel movies.
He sure did.
Well, he almost did.
He did. He just got blipped. When he came back, he said, I guarantee it. Now Adrian's being Teefs.
No. All right.
Chiefs.
Thunderbolts is definitely better than Guardians 3 because of Teefs.
You know what? It didn't have Teefs.
No, but on that note, we've all pretty much said we enjoyed the movie. Corey really enjoyed it. Mike?
I really enjoyed it too.
All right, let's get to what I asked you guys earlier. Let's get to I'm curious. We'll start with the super MCU fan, Corey. So we agreed, even if you have a top 5 or whatever, you can do it. But where is this now within the other 3 we talked about? Deadpool, Spider-Man, and Guardians 3.
Hold on.
Does it pass any of those?
Let me just pull up 4 and 5. That way I have a list in front of me.
Okay. Mike, are you ready to go right now? If Corey's doing that, you think you could answer it?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I've already given this some thought already.
So including
do
this,
do I think that this movie surpasses Deadpool and Wolverine, Guardians 3, or No Way Home? The answer is no. No, I don't think it does. I definitely think that it's the fourth best movie Marvel's released since Phase 3.
right? Which is still a huge compliment.
A huge compliment. I love this movie. I just, obviously, as a Deadpool fan, Deadpool and Wolverine's the one I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Guardians 3, it's so hard. It's like so close with me with Guardians 3 and No Way Home. They're literally like same level for me.
Right.
And yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say Thunderbolts is like a far reach below those three, but it's not better than those three by any means.
Okay. Well, while Corey's working on his, I will agree with you. It's so hard at the top. Mike, what was did you say on like an actual list? What was number one's Deadpool and Wolverine?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
You said you struggle between.
I struggle between No Way Home and Guardians 3 because they're just, and I even struggling a little bit by putting Deadpool and Wolverine at the top because they're all so fucking good.
They are. Well, here's the thing. No Way Home, I think for me is, I mean, it's always going to be fun every time I watch it. For me, it's probably less rewatchable than like a Guardians 3 because like once the effect of like the cameos wears off, I have a couple more issues with the movie. I still love it, but
No Way Home?
Yeah, that's why I would watch Guardians over it.
I would probably.
It's probably why I'd watch Deadpool and Wolverine over it.
Yeah, but Deadpool and Wolverine has some cameos in it too.
Yeah, but I don't think the cameos like in that movie. I don't know. I don't think it makes it as much as No Way Home.
The comedy in Deadpool and Wolverine is just it's hard not to laugh every time you fucking watch it.
Yeah, it's more of a movie I'm just going to put on to laugh my ass off. Yeah, and then Guardians is probably the deepest story in the last two phases and like the most emotion. So I would probably go Guardians, Deadpool and Wolverine, Spider-Man, No Way Home, and then this.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I could give you a number 5 because I really don't like the last two.
I could give you a number 5 because I didn't hate Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
That would probably be number 5 for me.
Okay.
Well, my list is exactly the same as Adrian's. Okay. Guardians 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, No Way Home, Thunderbolts, and then Shang-Chi would be my 5th.
And Shang-Chi.
I mean, I've heard Shang-Chi is really amazing, but Adrian hates it because Aquafina.
You've never seen Shang-Chi?
No.
Oh.
He hates Aquafina, but he also doesn't love just martial arts for martial arts' sake. Well, and that's what a lot of that movie is.
I mean, if you're talking Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee movies, I'm down, but...
Well, that's kind of what the fighting is in that movie. It's
no.
that style.
My issue isn't with that at all. My issue is the third act of the movie just turns into like a Marvel CGI slop. I like the martial arts in the first two acts. That feels more grounded.
The ending where they're using the rings and riding dragons and stuff is a little much.
If it didn't have Aquafina and the third act was more grounded like the first two, I'd like Shang-Chi a lot more.
Yeah, but that stuff doesn't bother me. That's why it's so high.
Right. That's fair.
I'd have to watch Shang-Chi. Maybe it is a phenomenal movie, and I just didn't give it a chance because I don't know the characters. And
from what the kind of things you like, Mike, I think you would enjoy it at least at the very least.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't hate it like I've disliked a lot of other Marvel properties.
Just make sure. Since then. Just make sure you have your remote, so every time Aquafina starts talking, you can mute it. Then you'll really like the movie.
And if you were wondering what happened to Trevor Slattery, you will find out. I didn't really get to this earlier in the episode, but did you guys know that Bob in this movie was also Bob in Top Gun Maverick? When they ask him what his call sign is in Top Gun Maverick, he says Bob, and the guy goes, "No, funny. What's your sign? What's your like flyer tag?" And he goes, "Bob."
Yeah, I remember that.
He was Bob in both things. Yep, same person.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
This dude's just gonna be Bob for every Hollywood role.
I know
he has to be Bob now for everything.
I hope they do like have him introduced to Deadpool at some point, and he goes Bob, and he goes, "Which one though?" Or he'll say something like, "The pilot,"
or he comes up to Deadpool and Wolverine, and he says Bob, and he says, "Did you say blob?"
Oh God! I really hope that doesn't happen.
Did you say blob?
What? No.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, but I think that is going to do it for our spoiler-filled review of the latest MCU movie, Thunderbolts. We will be back very soon in a few months talking Superman and Fantastic Four when it comes to the superhero movies. So stay tuned for those in a few months. Other than that, you can check out some more of my personal stuff. I got to get back on the horse, but I will be very soon. It's been a busy couple months with my 2 jobs, but work's slowing down a little bit. So I'm going to try to get back on the horse. You can check out personal reviews, rankings, tier lists, some live streams I do with these gentlemen and a couple of our other friends. All of that and more on youtube.com/Baker Reviews.
Baker Reviews.
Thank you as always, Mike. Oh, hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Other than that, other than my personal plugs, my selfish plugs, where can people go to support this podcast other than giving us 5 stars, which makes a huge difference? Where else can people go to support this podcast?
Well, you see, absolutely give us 5 stars wherever you get your podcast, because
And $5.
That helps the algorithm out.
Give me
I'm getting there. That helps the algorithm out. Helps us get out there more. If you really enjoy the content that we provide, then help get us out there more, so we can provide that for more people. On top of that, other than giving us 5 stars, another way to support us is over at patreon.com/Culture Shock Podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can help us keep the lights on over here and to continue to provide the content of which I just spoke of. At the $5 tier, as Adrian so graciously said,
so subtly, so smoothly said, give me $5. God, I'm subtle.
Tim, give us $5. Just
Yeah,
for
really.
at the $5 tier, you get access to our members only Discord. Fantastic. We love to talk in there. You get access to the ability to vote on an episode once a month of what we talk about, whether it be bad movie, music genre, video game console, which was the most recent one. We just did the Xbox 360, anything like that. Yeah. Like the Patreon is just where it's at, guys. We're about to do our second movie commentary, like literally this week. If you want 3-month early access to that, also become a patron. I mean, it's that simple. $1. Uno dollar. I don't know how to say dollar in Spanish.
I think it's uno dinero.
Uno dinero. Yeah. Give us the money. Give me it.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Give me the one. Give me one Robert De Niro.
Can I have one large Robert De Niro and a side of Al Pacino's?
So, with that being said, I would like to thank our current loyal patrons, and that is Cam Sully, Bobby Jean Squiggums, Josie, and Timberbolt. Timberbolt.
He spent a lot of time on that one, too.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it was a lot better than the one I did for Sinners.
Yeah. Tinners.
It just didn't. We could do it with all the names. Like we could call him Tim Belova.
No.
Red Tim.
Red Tim. Red Tim.
Red Tim.
Fucking Red Ross.
Red Ross.
Hey, that's what they call Thunderbolt Ross. Red Ross.
That's true.
Oh, Red Ross. Red is Thunderbolt Ross's
Say,
Red. Oh, shit.
You just got it.
Other than the Patreon, Corey, where else on the socials can they find us?
Well, before I get to that, I want to mention if you're listening to this before Friday, May 16th, we are going to be on the live stream for The Cure again this year, raising money for the Cancer Research Institute, hosted by the ever-talented Nicholas. He has, over the last 9 years, raised over $100,000 for this cause, and it all goes straight to the Cancer Research Institute. They don't take anything out. They match what we make during the live stream, which is awesome. And it is going to take place Friday, May 16th from 2 p.m. to midnight. And it's going to be on also Saturday, May 17th from 8 a.m. to midnight. Your boys here at Culture Shock are going to be on Saturday, May 17th from 4 to 5 p.m. We're going to do a listener favorite segment, the first time ever live, which is going to be interesting. So be there for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you can donate anything from $1 to $100. It all goes straight to that cause to try and fight cancer. If you can't, just be there, watch any of these very talented podcasters and content creators that are going to be on there. Pass the word, let your friends know that it's on. Maybe they can come and donate. Whatever you can do. Just try to be there and try to talk to us live. We'll talk to you back.
Yeah.
Anyway, but if you want to follow us on Facebook, it's Culture Shock Podcast. On Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. On TikTok, it's CS Podcast 21. And on Twitter, X, where I spend most of my time, it's also CS Podcast 21. Come on over there. Let us know if you've seen this. I really hope you have if you listen to this episode. Otherwise, you're crazy. Because we definitely spoiled things.
Taskmaster does.
Taskmaster is totally dead.
You ruined that for me.
Anyway, that's going to do it from all of us here at Culture Shocked. Thanks for listening.
Oh, were we supposed to say something here?
Wait, normally, I mean, typically we do, you know?
Yeah.
This episode was good. I'm so full. So filled.
Giggity.
Oh, right. I think that was right. I don't know.